Part 2. Secrets Under the Pulpit. The church choir traveled to another town for a crusade. Miriam stayed behind. Her father, the pastor, had asked her to remain and prepare the prayer room and kitchen for the upcoming women's conference. She didn't mind. In fact, she enjoyed the quietness of the empty sanctuary, the silence that made her prayers feel louder in heaven. That afternoon, as she arranged chairs near the pulpit, dark clouds gathered above the church, and heavy rain began to pour, beating the church roof with an angry rhythm. She was humming softly to herself when suddenly, she heard a knock on the church door. Soft at first, then urgent. She hesitated. Who could it be in such rain? She walked slowly to the door and peered through the side window. Her heart stopped. There he was. His gray hoodie was soaked through, water dripping from his hair down to his jaw. He stood shivering, his hands stuffed into his pockets, his shoulders hunched against the cold. She opened the door quickly and pulled him inside, looking around to make sure no one saw him. "Why are you here?" she whispered harshly, her eyes darting nervously towards the street outside. I need to talk to you." "Please," he said, his voice shaking as hard as his body. His eyes were bloodshot, like he hadn't slept for days. She wanted to say no. She wanted to tell him to leave, that this was God's house, that what he was doing was wrong. But when she looked into his eyes, all the words died in her throat. Against her better judgment, she led him to the back pew. They sat in silence for a moment, the only sound being the rain pounding the roof like war drums. She could hear her own heartbeat echoing in her ears. Finally, he spoke, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'm leaving this town tomorrow." Her chest tightened painfully. "Why?" she asked, her voice trembling. He sniffed, wiping his nose with the back of his wet hand. "My brother died last week. He overdosed on something. He was only 25. My mother called me. She wants me back home to fix my life before I end up like him." Tears filled his eyes as he spoke. "I know I've wasted my life, Miriam. I know I have disappointed a lot of people, my mother the most, and everyone else. But I can't leave without telling you something." She felt her throat close up. "What is it?" He turned to her, his wet hair clinging to his forehead, his eyes burning into hers with raw desperation. "I love you." The words hit her like a violent wave crashing into her chest. Love? How could he say that? They had never truly spoken before today, never sat together, never touched. But as his words settled into her soul, something inside her broke open. She realized, with terrifying clarity, that her soul had been waiting to hear those words, but definitely not from him. Tears pooled in her eyes. "You can't love me. You don't even know me. But I do," he whispered, his voice breaking as tears fell freely down his face. "I know you love worshiping God so much you cry every Sunday. I know you always pray after everyone else leaves. I know you love to sing that old song about Njila Yanga Yesu. I know you are the only pure thing I have ever seen in my life." She covered her mouth with her hand, sobbing quietly as rain thundered down around them. He reached out and took her hand in his. His touch burned through her skin, igniting 1,000 forbidden feelings she had buried under prayers and memory verses. He leaned closer, his forehead almost pressed against hers, their tears mixing between their cheeks. "Please, just once, tell me you feel it too," he pleaded. Her lips trembled violently. Words refused to come out, but her soul was screaming yes. Yes to his brokenness. Yes to his darkness. Yes to his love that felt like sin but tasted like salvation. Instead of speaking, she kissed him, soft at first, then desperately, like her lips were the only way to tell him everything she couldn't say. Right there, in God's house, under the pounding rain, Miriam kissed a boy she wasn't supposed to kiss, her heart torn with mixed feelings of what she had just done. God must be very upset with her actions. She carried mixed emotions. How can she kiss a boy who would soon disappear from her life? A boy who would change her prayers forever.